What we're seeing with Kyrie Irving is a direct assault on the rights of a man, a black man, to speak his mind. The fact that he has to pay pittance, essentially, to return to work simply because of a tweet is not American. It is un-American. Welcome back to the Biblical Conservative channel, where we come against the anti-God, anti-human, anti-American, anti-Christian spirit that's looking to prevail in this land. Please be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. So today I want to talk about this whole Kyrie Irving situation from a different perspective. I'm going to play you a video from Jay Williams, where Jay Williams talks about why he's standing with Kyrie. And he's going to talk about some of the things that has been kind of circulating in my mind as well. Because, as I've said before, we're not victims. We are empowered for greatness. This is a biblical conservative channel. And why I disagree with Kyrie when he talks about the things he believes in, this is America. He has a right. He has a freedom to express those things without being punished. That is the reason why the Puritans, that is the reason why people came to America, because in England they were being punished just like Kyrie was, because they were the minority. And so the minority opinion was being silenced, being canceled, if you will. So they had to come to America. Kyrie's thoughts, Kyrie's right to express himself, his freedom of expression, is being silenced. You may say, well, yeah, but his employer, they can silence him. They sure can. They can silence him. They have a right to do that. But why are they doing that? That's the question. Has anyone asked themselves, why are they silencing this man over a tweet, when there have been other egregious things done to black people, said about black people, and nobody silenced them? Nobody counseled them. I'll play this video, but one of the frustrating things, and I love everyone. I'm a believer. I'm a Christian first. I happen to be black, and so I see everything through a biblical lens. And when I see the outright disparity in how situations are handled between when a black person is insulted versus anybody else, Jewish community, LGBT community, white woman community, it is a drastic difference. You don't have those people come and pay pittance to the black community. They can say any and everything about black people, in particular black men or black women. And you don't see them having to go through 6 steps to be restored. But yet this man has to go through 6 steps to be restored to play basketball again. And no one's even talking about the fact that Amazon is still profiting off of that video, and that the owner, Cy, is a communist. Just listen to Jay Williams.
Approach it with a state of empathy, right? Regardless of what color, what creed, what race you are, I look at people as human beings. I think that's important. But life is always about taking a stand and holding principles. So I want to explain what I feel like my stance is as a black male in this world, okay? And conversations that I've had with my brothers and sisters in the black community. And I want you guys to empathize with it and hear me on it. So when I hear what Kyrie Irving has to go through in order to be reinstated, I'm appalled. I'm appalled. And let me give you examples of how I feel like we don't have the same energy and hold other people who have dealt with racial tropes accountable. So when Sarah Silverman does blackface, or when Don Imus says nappy-headed hose, or when Howard Stern calls somebody the N-word in the skit, or when Brett Favre takes money from the state of Mississippi, we don't ask them to get sensitivity training. We don't ask them to donate $500,000. We don't asked them to meet with the Black National Caucus. They apologize. And then, you know what? The rest of the world moves on. But what I feel like is happening here, and that's how in the Black community, like we've been told that's how the process works, right? Think about that, Bert. That's how the process works. Oh, somebody does a blackface. Oh, it was a misunderstanding. We got it. Okay. You know, is that person really racist? Probably not. Was it ignorant? Probably so. Okay. We understand it. We move forward. We don't like it. We would love to hold them accountable. But society and having a lot of Black people in positions of power, we don't have the governability to do that. But what we feel like happens with Kyrie is even after an apology, it's not enough. We feel like there needs to be more. And a lot of people I've spoken to over the last couple of days talk about this thing. Older mentors of mine talk about buck breaking. So we talk about tropes. This is something that we feel like in the Black community that happened way back in the day, where if there was a...
I'm gonna pause right there. That's exactly what's going on. They're trying to break Kyrie. And you wanna know why they wanna break Kyrie? Because Kyrie has the guts, has the intestinal fortitude to stand up against the NBA and against the powers that be, because he didn't take that shot last year. So they're still angry about that. So they're trying to make an example out of Kyrie. And the other question is, why haven't any other NBA player stood up for Kyrie? Not condoning the tweet, whatever, okay. Not condoning the tweet, but separating that from standing up on principle for this man who was being castrated publicly. They're trying to make a eunuch out of him publicly. And yet no one, as far as I've heard from the NBA, standing up, saying anything for him. As a matter of fact, you got people talking about Kyrie should have been suspended and other stuff happening to Kyrie. I don't see anyone from the NBA, from the NBPA, no one standing up for this man. No one. And you wonder why we as Black people can never achieve. It's the same mentality that's been in place ever since. Going back into ancestral history, Black people were in different tribes and they were warring against each other. That's why we can never come together. That's the beauty of Christianity, because Christianity takes the Blackness away and makes us all one in Christ. So therefore we can come together and do stuff together. But when you don't have that, you have this. You have everybody's out for themselves. Everybody's covering themselves. They're not gonna stand up for this young man.
A slave that was defiant, right? He got broken in front of everybody in order to show that he was not in a position of power. And that at the end of the day, he had to do what he was told to do because that's what was mandated of him. And there's a bigger situation going on. What's happening with Kyrie Irving? If the Nets don't want him to be there, just say you don't want him to be there. But we should hold everybody accountable, even owners of teams accountable, with things that are happening in other countries, i.e. China and Uyghurs and the Muslim genocide that is occurring that we hear Enes Kanter talk about. But we don't keep the same energy for everybody. We pick and choose what conversational points we want to make more polarizing. And I might lose my job. I might lose deal opportunities in the future for speaking out about even the platforms that continue to promote and profit a movie that is considered anti-Semitic to billions of people. They don't have to be accountable. Who is accountable? But we're going to put everything on the shoulders of Kyrie Irving, who, even though he said, I cannot be anti-Semitic because if I know where I came from, stating that he's one of the 4 lost tribes. He's saying that Blacks and Jews come from the same entity, the same thing. But we don't want to understand nuance. We want to be triggered by words. And we like fire. And we like things that are, going viral on social media, and everybody has some kind of hot take, and we're calling people idiots, and we're calling people names because that's what we do. We just destroy each other. I ain't gonna destroy each other, man.
They're trying to make an example out of this man because they're trying to and want to tell not just NBA players, but this is a push by those in power to tell everyone, do not buck. And black men, do not buck. Stay in your place. Don't subscribe to the natural order. Don't be leaders in your community. Don't be leaders in your home. No, that's the woman's role. No, you don't have a place anymore. You're subservient. Bow down. That's the message. And unfortunately, too many people have accepted that message, hook, line, and sinker.